Good morning to everyone. And if I can allow me to adopt the protocol that already has been established, but certainly let me recognize the persons at the floor with me, Minister Montoute, who's the Minister of Equity, and Trevor Louisi, the Managing Director of LUCELEC. Since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, our government has put into place numerous humanitarian programs and strategies to reduce its social and economic impact on the citizens and to ensure that the basic needs of most vulnerable groups are not compromised in any way. Firstly, there was the development of the COVID-19 Health Response Plan. Secondly, there was the development of the Social Stabilization Program. And thirdly, we developed the Economic Recovery and Resilience Plan. We've provided monthly cash allowances through the Public Assistance Program, monthly distribution of food vouchers via the Social Assistance Program for persons living with HIV/AIDS, monthly cash payments via the Child Disability Grant Program and the Foster Care Program. There have been other initiatives as well as like the income support programs of one-time payments and a national hot meals and food distribution program. Today, we're here to formally sign the agreement or memorandum of understanding for the Electricity Assistance Program, which is one of the 32 interventions outlined in Pillar 1 of the COVID-19 Economic Recovery and Resilience Plan. The government of Saint Lucia, by extension, the Department of Finance, finds itself in an unprecedented position in the history of this country. To date, government revenue is down by double digits and is expected to remain significantly reduced for the remainder of the fiscal year 2020-2021. There have been calls for economic stimulus and requests for financial support from various sectors in our society: tourism, agriculture, transportation, construction, just to name a few. In recognition of the need to provide that support to the most vulnerable groups and segments in our society, while managing the limited revenue of the state, it is imperative that any assistance offered should be targeted in such a way that there is value to those who receive it. Consequently, the Electricity Assistance Program was designed in such a way that it met both these criteria, adding economic value to most vulnerable groups in our society and making prudent use of our limited financial resources. The electricity program is an attempt by government to provide qualifying persons with financial assistance to meet their electricity bill obligations and bring some relief as part of a larger government-wide response. Other elements of the response include incentivizing commercial landlords to offer moratoriums to their tenants, provision of financial resources to the Saint Lucia Development Bank to on-lend to small and medium-sized enterprises, a waiver of duties on medical-grade personnel protective equipment, the income support program, the expansion of the social assistance program, the education assistance program, the employee retention program, again, just to name a few. The overall policy thrust of the government is to support those who have lost incomes via income support and provide assistance households and the business community, particularly micro and small medium-sized businesses. In designing this initiative, stakeholders recognize that while the provision of income support to persons was welcomed, many would use these monies to pay bills, which would erode the financial support they would have received. As such, the state decided to provide this assistance. As we recognize with the loss of income, persons are opting to preserve their cash and defer their bill obligations. This, coupled with the decision by the Saint Lucia Electricity Services to temporarily halt disconnections, meant that persons would be accumulating arrears which would adversely affect their accounts with LUCELEC. The Electricity Assistance Program was targeted at adding value to the lives and the livelihoods of those most affected by COVID-19. The initiative offers assistance to groups of persons we believe are extremely vulnerable and in need of extension of support by the government. The program offers a credit to participants that is in line with the average monthly consumption of low-income households. Persons who meet the criteria and have decided to opt into the program will receive the nominal credits on their September 2020 to February 2021 electricity bills. These credits would be applied by LUCELEC and paid for by the government of Saint Lucia. We anticipate that approximately 5,000 to 6,000 Saint Lucians will benefit under this program. The government has embarked upon a broad-based consultation over the past 6 to 8 months and has worked closely with public sector agencies, private sector entities, civil society, not-for-profit organizations, and statutory bodies to develop various strategies and interventions. One such organization is the Saint Lucia Electricity Services Limited. We are very pleased today to participate in this signing ceremony, which is symbolic of our partnering with the Electricity Company Services to make this intervention possible. An initiative of this magnitude would not have been possible without the assistance and the management of LUCELEC, in particular Mr. Trevor Louisi and Mr. Roger Joseph, who participated in the various meetings which were necessary to develop and refine the proposal as well as the MOU. We wish to recognize the hard work and the dedication of the Permanent Secretary in the Department of Finance, supported by the members of the technical team, which was instrumental in developing the Social Stabilization Plan, as well as the Economic Recovery and Resilience Plan for Saint Lucia. Support was also provided by the Customs and Excise Department and other units within the Department of Finance. We say a big thank you. The Permanent Secretary and Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Local Government and Empowerment, and their team members who went out in the field to ensure that all members on the list were contacted, and their permission sought for participation in the program. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and her team, as well as the General Manager of the Government Information Technology Service Limited for their assistance with the Income Support Program. The Attorney General's Chambers for the vetting of this MOU and providing legal advice throughout this process. And it would be remiss of me at the end of the day also not to thank the Lord for his continued intervention and blessings on the people of our country. I thank you.